The meeting will come to order. Madam Secretary, is it on? It's on.
Yeah, but it's just not.
Okay.
Don't trip on
Oh, I won't.
it. Get your mouth.
Good morning. I was just thinking, those of us over 65, we're rough and tough. We rode our bicycles without helmets. We drank out of the hose. We ate mud lunches. Remember those mud sandwiches? And we're all here. We still survived. And we survived a power outage this morning. We've had snow. We've had water outages. What else have we had? But we're here. And Wi-Fi, of course. And we survived without Wi-Fi. How did we manage to do that? We had tin cans with those strings. Remember how much fun they were? And here we are, enjoying the gift of days and the gift of years that we have been given. And for that, I give thanks, and I'm sure all of you do too. Thank you for braving the cold and the snow this morning, for being here. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd like to give a personal thanks to your executive committee of the council. They have been so wonderful to me. Some of you who are new don't realize that at one time I was chair of the council, and because of personal health issues, I had to step aside. And Steve Bray took over, and he's done a fabulous job. Steve has been there by my side to help me in days when I felt really terrible. And Nancy Gallahue is a star. As far as I'm concerned, there's no one that can beat her. And Steve Timish, I don't see you, but he is our treasurer, and he works so hard on the EAF fund. We raised more money this year than ever, and he has done a stellar job. So when you see him, will you thank him for me? Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Nancy, Steve B. and Steve T. I appreciate their help so much. You've just been wonderful to me, and I will value that and treasure it forever. Thank you. Okay, so this morning we meet as the annual meeting of the Association for the Residents. And for those of you who are new to Covenant Woods, it perhaps might be, for those of you who are new to Covenant Woods, it is probably a helpful reminder to let you know what we do as a council and what the association is for. The purpose of the council, and for the new members that you voted for today, is to communicate with their concerns of you, the family here, our fellow friends and colleagues, to the administration, and at the same time working with the administration to make sure it's done well and with good grace and with good wishes. Secondly, it's to influence the activities that we have here. If you look at the agenda, you can see the various committees that we have on the council, and those are the people that you need to talk to. If you want some special activity, talk to the chair of the activities committee. If you want some books, talk to the chair of the library committee, and so on. So you can be involved as a resident here. You can be a citizen and be involved in what happens and help make decisions about what comes for you and helps benefit us in our daily lives. And finally, we are here to assist the administration in implementing their policies and communicating their policies that they have that are necessary for our well-being. As a member of the resident council, your duties, you newly elected people, are to act as the governing body for the association, to represent the interests and the welfare of your constituents, your membership, our fellow family members, to communicate your concerns to the Covenant Woods administration, and to approve appointment of committee chairs and to create new committees as needed. And then finally, the Residents' Council influences the activities of what we have here at Covenant Woods, and we are blessed We have so many wonderful things to do. Your calendars are full almost every day. Last night was an example of what this place offers us. It's a place where that I am happy I'm here, and there is no place that I would rather be at this time in my life. So we say goodbye to, have I forgotten something?
No, I just want to make sure everybody's voted.
Has everybody who's in here voted? Okay, we need to get our ballots.
Let's get those picked up.
We need to get our ballots picked up.
Yes, they'll do that.
Ballots need to be picked up. If you'd pass them to the end of the aisle,
Pass them into the center.
pass them to the center, and yeah, they're coming to pick them up now. Pass your ballots to the center, please. They're going to be counted while we are having our meeting. Thanks, Fred. Thank you. Oh, we have all our ballots in now? And all the pens, would you pass the pens to the middle too, as well? If you have a ballpoint pen that you use to vote, would you pass those to the middle? They get used once a year day. You got one there? Yeah. Everybody has their ballot in? Okay. We're still getting people coming. That's great. I have already expressed my gratitude to Steve Bray and to Steve Temish. The two of them are going off the council, as am I. So we are three of the retiring 5 members of the council. Janet Rickman retires in one position, but she came in as an alternate and fulfilled the term of another member. So she's on the ballot today. She was eligible to run again. The three of us, Steve and I and Steve Temish, Steve T and Steve B, three of us are not eligible to run. And Vicki Truman has declined to run again, so her term was vacant. I want to thank, and they walked out the door and they don't know that I'm going to thank them, but I wanted to thank Helen Singleton, Barbara Davidson, Bob Cornell, Connie White, Daryl, and Carol Meadows. They're the ones who handed you those pens and ballots out there, and they are out there right now counting the ballots. There were no bylaw changes this year recommended from the council. And so I believe that brevity is wit, and that I like the things to have short and sweet and apt and pithy. So we had a rule in the meetings of the council that we had 3 minutes to give our reports. Today, we have 5 minutes to give our reports. Or less. So we're going to begin this morning with activities, but Betty is not here. She had knee surgery, so she couldn't be here. So her report will be included in the minutes that you'll be able to read on Katie, or if you go to the concierge desk after a day or two, you'll find a written report. So instead, we'll begin with campus grounds and Fred McCall. Fred? Here, I'll go over here.
Can everyone hear me as well as I can hear you? I'm not going to take 5 minutes. A brief summary: we hope that the treatment of the crepe myrtles is finished and that they'll be healthy this year. We will see in a bit. There are plans underway for the IJ lawn to make that a nice place for people to gather. There are bluebirds around, but of course it's much too early for them to be nesting. We will have more beehives this spring. There are at least 2 queens, and so the hive will be split. We're looking at trying to move in a substantial way towards native plants. As some of the older plants that are not native to this part of Virginia die, then we hope to replace them with native plants.
Wow, Fred, that was a record. If they're all this short, we'll be out of here before lunch. We'll be out of here anyway before lunch. Okay, the Decor Committee, Janet Rickman. Janet?
Okay, your decor committee has been busy this year. These are some of the accomplishments. We updated and replaced the artwork and furniture in the common areas of the manor. We replaced manor, healthcare, and the spring outdoor furniture. We replaced carpet in the first floor of the lodge. We replaced and we installed carpet in the living room of the lodge behind the fireplace. We provided new metal carts to strategic areas throughout the campus for people to use in hauling groceries in and out. We updated the campus decor and holiday decoration guidelines in the resident handbook. We installed new art in the ping pong and billiard room. We reviewed options for new bar chairs and lights in Fireside, and they are on a truck somewhere. They should be here before the end of the month. And we have updated furniture and artwork in the club room and treetops. So I feel like that your decor committee has accomplished our goals this year. Hopefully we have made your and my home brighter, cleaner, and a happier place to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if they're all going to be this short, I'm just going to stand up here. or sit on my walker. How about that? Okay, this is one of my favorite committees, the Dining Committee. I got to serve on that committee, and it is so much fun. And if you haven't served on the committee and you'd like to, check it out. Patty?
I don't think I'm going to be as short. We do a lot of eating around here, so I have a bullet of items here, but I'll start and hopefully I'll get through. Okay, thank you. The Employee Appreciation event in December was a complete success due to the generosity of our residents supplying goodies for the staff. Several kitchen tours were done to introduce the Fireside Vistas kitchen to interested residents. Thanks to the leadership of Arissa Lopez, the Farm to Table program supplied many herbs and vegetables to our menu. And Arissa also, as Fred noted, introduced bees to Covenant Woods. And we hope to get honey this year from those bees. Infused water was introduced to 3 locations in the lodge and manor. This is helpful in keeping residents and staff hydrated. Menu changes were made as needed in all restaurants. Cook to order was begun in Traditions with good success. The buffet is still being served for special events, Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, etc., and on Sundays. Hours were changed in Traditions to accommodate the new menu. Both restaurants do close from 2:30 to 3:30 to give staff time to reset and have lunch themselves. Because of long wait times in Fireside Vistas, individuals can now only order Fireside Vista dinner takeout before 4 to be picked up either at 5 or 7. That was to help, with alleviate wait times. Shelving was put outside of Fireside to accommodate the brown bag takeout bags, and that seems to be working great. Plenty of people are using that. DoorDash has begun to help make our wonderful food available to the public. Also, individuals not living at Covenant Woods are welcome to come and eat in Fireside on weekdays between 11:30 and 2:30 with reservations. A couple other things, a favorite ice cream flavor of the month was held in June, July, and August with 2 names drawn from the entries for free ice cream each of the months. A lot of people got some free ice cream. Different flavors were tried and enjoyed by many. A program was held one afternoon prepared by Alinda Uzel and Mike Sheff to inform our residents about what happens behind the kitchen doors. That was held here in this room. It was really a great program and well received. Comment cards are always encouraged, good or bad. The staff does read all the comment cards. So please fill those out as you see fit. Put your name on it. The dining, and that's so that they can contact you and see if they can make it better, if that's what, or to thank you for your compliments. It's not, to keep record of everybody. The dining committee is very grateful to our entire dining staff. They plan, purchase, prepare, serve, clean up thousands of meals each month for us to enjoy. We do thank them for taking such good care of all residents during the recent water shortage and today's blackout. Thanks to each of them for all they do to make our lives better here at Covenant Woods.
Thank you, Patty. One of the things that I was astounded by when I served on that committee was the number of meals served per month. Every month, there's more than 22,000 meals served here at Covenant Woods. It's an amazing number. At least it is to me. Okay, and now we go to facilities. Kathy? Oh, okay.
Several pages, big type. Facilities Committee's responsibilities include building maintenance, security, housekeeping, and energy conservation. We've held 8 meetings this year on the second Monday of the month at 2 o'clock so people can finish their lunch. And everybody's welcome at the club room in Center Point. We have attendance by Tim Kaufman and the former Chris Wyndham, who was not stuck in that revolution at the juvenile detention center. He's in training this week, so he didn't get captured in his first week of work. And one of the important things in our responsibility is safety. And this thing, everybody raise their hand with if they have their Sarah pendant with them. And I guess my question is for the rest of you, who I want to ask you, why not? You're paying a lot of money for this thing. It's part of the safety program. We don't want to pick you up 2 days later lying between 2 cars in the garage or in the link between the buildings, And security will find you if you do like I did and snag the control in the bathroom without watching. Even though I called, they still were there in 5 minutes to make sure I wasn't lying on the ground. Please, it'd be a real tragedy to have someone abandoned anywhere in Covenant Woods. There are receivers out in the middle of the lower pond and all around the springs. Please wear your Sarah pendants. Our goals include improving campus and individual safety, improving building maintenance, housekeeping improvements. We converse with the department heads regularly and trying to get people to turn out lights when they leave a room. We've had improved traffic control. Some of you might have seen the radar speed control in front of the lodge and speed bumps, which were removed so they didn't get plowed up this week. Dealt with and improved parking jams in front of the buildings by enforcing handicap parking, by keeping staff and contractors out of resident parking, and we've had much fewer complaints about, I can't park anywhere near my building entrance. Here, you cottage people have your own problems. We talked about EV charging stations, and we talked about it and decided today isn't the day. There is an EV charging station that one resident paid to have installed in the garage lodge, and I guess, but from a practical, I've done a lot of reading about it. If you own an EV car, you really want to be in a place where you can park the car safely overnight and plug it in. Cottage garage, or we can make arrangements elsewhere. EV charging stations out front, not today. And Donald Trump doesn't think much of it anyway. One of the important things that we pushed management for was prompt notification of emergencies that residents have to respond to quickly. And when the water went out, you got phone calls. Earlier this week, you got phone calls. And so you got timely notice of emergencies or outages that you have to deal with. And that's the result of cooperation between the committee and management. And last, but not last but not least, working to reduce trip hazards in the corridors of the manor and the lodge from package deliveries. There are a lot of FedEx, Amazon people who show up here. They're not always so careful to push those packages out of the way. And we're working to reduce that. I can tell you, at a small place in North Richmond, where they have 1,000 residents, they have a system where all residents have to come to the area of the concierge to pick up packages. And all times, we allow delivery people to deliver them to your door, and there are a few volunteers around who might drop them at your door also. But if you see a package that can be pushed out of the corridor into the corner in front of the door, please do so. We don't want to find somebody lying on the corridor. Last but not least, we're looking for 1 or 2 additional volunteers to join the committee. And after years of yeoman service, I'm planning to continue at least my membership role in the committee. But Genevieve Chenault has finally given up her dedication to keeping notes, and we need someone who'd be willing to spend that extra hour, or maybe hour or 2 a month, to take notes during the meeting and issue, hopefully, a minutes of the meeting, which we try to keep to 1 page or less. We're not looking to capture every word. So I encourage you to show up on the 10th of February and contribute your time and interest in the operation of your home.
What's the next meeting?
March, I think it's the same date, March 10th. It's the advantage of February. Thank you. And I'll leave your notes.
If you haven't served on a committee, I encourage you to do so. Van Williams is not able to be with us today, so the chair of the Health Committee, Chuck Webb, is going to give the report for the committee. Thank you, Chuck.
I'm not sure how this is going to work down so low, but we'll. Okay, raise it up. There we go. Yeah. All right. So I'm chair of the Residents' Council Health Committee. Van Williams reminded me last night that he won't be here, so I put together some notes. I took over the middle of last year with the untimely death of Dr. DeShazo. My background as a physician educator is 40 years of internal medicine and 20 years of geriatrics and palliative care. So this past year, we studied the role of our health committee in resident complaints. If independent living residents are patients in healthcare and wish to raise an issue about their care, they need to go and see Megan Tomes. She has a list of staff that work. We've determined that as a committee, we really cannot get in the middle and get any response from management. It's just, it doesn't work. We also had Lori Hunter come and speak to our committee. She's the ombudsman for long-term care. She's available and mediates between residents and staff and is a wonderful addition. She'll work with independent residents outside of healthcare as well. Believe it or not, this has been a sore point in our committee over the last few years. The last few chairmen have struggled with this. So how can we improve the health of residents in our community? First, there's nutrition. Joanne Lee came and talked about plant-based eating and veganism. Hallie Kent played the Blue Zone videos, and that we now have on our menus Blue Zone choices. So cutting back on high cholesterol foods is something that's healthy. And then there's exercise. We have two excellent exercise therapists. I use the resistance equipment at an outside gym, and I'm familiar with the literature that says that seniors that work twice a week on these machines and keep their muscles up can actually reduce their morbidity by 50%. If you look at people compare the age of 20 to the age of 70 or 80, we have 50% less muscle mass than we did when we were 20. And we need to work to keep that up. So that's something I'm going to be working on. It's probably going to be a long-term project. I have a detail man who's going to talk to me on Thursday and give me prices on equipment. But if we could find space and get people to go through these machines a couple times a week, I think it would really make a big difference. Our committee is volunteering in Manor East. Gene Mosley and other volunteers have been going every week to offer people over there water. You lose your sense of thirst after about the age of 65 or 70. If you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So getting people over there to be aware of the importance of drinking water, it prevents urine infections. It does a lot of good over there. So I'm going to go through a list of different things real quickly here. We're working with Administrator Carrie Davis to raise our rating on the Medicare 5-star report. We compare what she's done, what we've done for the month with what Medicare is reporting. We're working with CEO Tom Wright to comply with the Baker-Tilly recommendations that management work with our committee. We've revised the flow chart for residents in hospitals and nursing homes who are coming back to our facility to healthcare to make sure everybody knows the right steps. We're working on educational programs to bring to the community. I've been speaking about the danger of privatized Medicare. I've spoken in 4 different CCRCs and here about we started a finance group to educate residents and reassure them about how they're managing our life savings. I think that's something that is reassuring and provides health. As an authority in near-death experience and a seminary graduate, I've started a group to emphasize that we're spiritual beings having a physical existence. I learned in hospice that spiritual health is one of the 4 major domains of health. So that's something, as we prepare to transition, that's something to be aware of and consider. I have strong feelings about end-of-life care. I know symptoms can be controlled. I'll be speaking about hospice next month at Lakewood. Our committee would welcome new members. We lost our secretary as well. Genevieve has retired, so we'll be looking. Just as an example of things that we can learn about, there's something called the Health and Wellness Program over in the nursing home and probably everywhere else, where you can actually pay a physical therapist to work with you. I think it's $25 for a half hour, and they'll do it 3 times a week, and that's an excellent way. So you're in the hospital, you come home, Medicare provides a certain amount of time, and then they say, we're going to stop paying. If you get a doctor's permission to continue and you're willing to spend a little bit of money, that's an excellent program to keep going. So there are all these little details that we're learning about as a committee to try to bring to the council. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I should stand on a stool. Here we go. Thank you, Chuck. Okay, and next we have Bruce Rinaldi with the information technology. And you remember when we did without the internet, and now people go into hysterics when we don't have the internet for just a half a day? Poor Bruce, he's got a heavy-duty load here. Bruce?
All right, the Information and Technology offers support related to technology and IT services to the residents of Covenant Woods. The committee meets regularly with staff and of the Information Technology Department, keeping up to date with the latest technology changes and enhancements on Covenant Woods. This year, the IT staff shut down and decommissioned services for advanced care, installed a new projector in the MEC, distributed new Katie tablets to everyone, implemented a mass communication system that we get all these nice messages from, and completed a cybersecurity audit. The IT committee educated residents on the new committee user system, helped to distribute the new Katie tablets and chargers, and promoted IT services and technologies offered to residents at Covenant Woods. Remember, if you have a problem with your technology, with the Wi-Fi, put in a work order, either through Katie or at the concierge. I think you'll find that the new staff and IT is very considerate and patient with you. I've had them over several times in the last couple of weeks with problems with the Wi-Fi, and they take their time and get you straight. And we are always looking for people who want to serve on the committee. You don't have to know anything about IT. We're just there to hear about things and put in our input. And we meet the third Wednesday of every other month. Our next meeting will be on March 19th in Treetops at 11.
Okay, and the next report is the library. Vicki has asked Dave to take care of that. And library is one of our favorite places, and we get to read that daily newspaper. Dave?
I'm reporting for Vicki Truman today. I'm sorry. I will try again. The Library Committee had a busy fall. In September, we culled 400 books from the shelves that had not been taken out in 3 years. In October, thanks to receiving our new back wall shelf, we rearranged the layout of the bookshelves, which meant moving every book. November was our successful annual book and puzzle sale, from which we earned $403.99. This was coordinated by Suzanne Harmon, Diane Richardson, and Vicki Truman. We have moved the donation basket to the back of the library. Megan Tomes has been receiving game books free from Food Lion, and we have them on display for residents to take. Linda Bell has provided lovely greenery to spruce up our decor. We have added 12 more newly released large print books to our inventory, since these are rarely donated, but we have added 21 books over the last 2 years. We welcomed a new member, Ann Mustian, and we gained 2 volunteers who keep the puzzle room in order, Nancy and Ivy Galliou. An information sheet on how to use your library was created and is available in the library. And she wants to thank her hardworking committee for all they do and remind everybody that that they meet on the second Tuesday of every month. Thursday. I'm sorry, it does say Thursday. I just can't read it. I wrote it down and I can't read it. Thank you.
Okay, and now new residents, and we love new residents, and we welcome those of you who are new today to this event. And speaking for the new residents is Linda Rinke.
We're getting shorter. The new resident committee has 14 members. We're going to get probably 2 new ones soon. Our job is to serve as sponsors for new residents and participate in events for prospective individuals who may be coming to Covenant Woods in the future. In the last fiscal year, in Covenant Woods fiscal year, there were 37 move-ins that took place. We provided sponsors to all of these new people. 10 events were also, had also occurred for perspectives, and some committee members work on those, with those meetings. We often play a major role in helping to sell Covenant Woods to prospectives because we give the current resident perspective, which is different than what marketing can give them. And so they have a lot of questions they ask us that are different than what they might have heard before. We also have been asked to do dozens of informal lunches for prospectives so that the people, and marketing pays for all of our meals when we do this, so that, again, that they can get the perspective from a real live involved resident. Some of our members are people who have been around for just a year. Myself, I'm about to hit 10 years, and Peggy Reed and a couple of others have been around even longer than that on the committee. So we do tours for new residents and a lot of hand-holding if needed. Each newcomer has different needs than other ones. And so we have to be flexible and knowledgeable. And I tell everybody on the committee, read your handbook because you'll need to know somebody will ask you a question and you don't know the answer to. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda. We heard at our last council meeting that we have 100 people on the waiting list for the coming year, so that's good news for all of us. The nominating committee is a short-term committee. It is chaired by the vice chair of the council. It starts its work in September and ends it in November, so it's a short-term job. It's an important job, and it's important for us as residents to answer the call. So I hope that next year when the vice chair comes around or the committee members come around and say, would you be willing to be a nominee on the council, you'll say yes. And I also ask you and encourage you to join one of the committees. It's a way to get to know people. It's a way to be involved. It's a way to help make things change. And it gives back to all of us. Your gift of giving gives to all of us. So I encourage you to do that. The History Committee is another one of those committees that does not meet on a regular basis and reports annually or biannually, I guess. So we have nothing to give from them today. So now we're ready for your comments. Oh, yes.
And they meet at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, they're meeting at 2 o'clock this afternoon? Where?
Jim Crow in the multipurpose room.
Multipurpose room. All right. Good to know. What happened?
I'm just gonna get
Oh,
this.
okay, now ready for the residents' comments and concerns. Here we go. Rick?
When we have the emergency announcements, the beep that goes on forever needs to be shortened.
Yes.
One time I rode from Texas to Canal Zone with a high-pitched radio next to me, and I could not hear for 2 days. And I get the same feeling about that long beep.
I'm with you, Wade, and for those of us who wear hearing aids, it's really a problem. Lee?
I get tired of taking announcements off of Katie because Jane gets them and I get them both. Can we not send announcements to the apartment rather than to each individual?
Bruce, can you answer that?
Wait a minute, Bruce.
Hey, wait, they
wait.
can't hear you. Just, what's the solution, Bruce? Yeah, what's the solution?
When you signed up for Katie, you could either put one name on Katie if you were one, or if you were a couple, you could put one name, or you could put both names. So if you chose to put both names, I'm pretty sure you're going to get the announcements to both of you. If you want to change it, I guess you can, yeah, put in a work order and see if you can just put one name, and it'll just come to the one person then.
Maybe that would work, Lee, if you talk to the IT or put in a work order and ask them to take one name off. Okay, other comments? Rick?
Who was it? Rick. Oh, Rick, I'm sorry, Rick, I forgot you.
If you're complaining about the length of the symbol, talk to the fire marshal. It's law. Secondly, if you're complaining about DoorDash competing with our kitchen producing, one, it produces revenue to Covenant Woods, and that reduces rents maybe. Secondly, whenever I talk to people about I live at Covenant Woods, they say, oh, I used to order from your kitchen there during COVID or last week or whatever, and it's a big marketing item for Covenant Woods. And we're buyers when we pay our rent, and we're sellers when we're trying to get people to come in. If you missed Juanita Park's presentation to VACRA last month, it's on Boxcast, and it's worth your hour and a quarter to listen to that. What makes this place run profitably, or at least not negatively. Very important to all of us.
And by the way, at our council meeting last month, we discovered that we are not running in the red, and we are for the first time since 2017. So I think kudos to the administration. Who's next?
I guess I am.
Oh, Alice.
Hi.
Hi.
I've heard twice now there are 100 so on the waiting list, but is that for, is there a breakdown of what they're waiting for? I've heard that people are more interested now in cottages and they're not available.
Okay, Linda
So-
can answer that.
Linda's going to answer that.
Nancy, Linda,
No, I think that's significant in terms
yeah,
of.
Linda has an answer for that.
If it's 100 people or 100 units that are. Well, it's units, first of all, but two-bedroom, no matter where they are being demanded. The one-bedrooms, not so much. But, I mean, a lot of single people want a two-bedroom apartment for whatever reason. So,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter whether it's cottage or whatever, but some people.
Well, we can't build them over. Exactly.
Just following what Linda said in the question about what is available and what is most asked for. In March, Aaron Melton and the whole marketing crew will be at the VACRA meeting, and it is a good time for you to learn the answer to these questions. Ask a lot of questions, and I think you'll find it valuable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sonny. And in the back behind you, Nancy.
I'm coming. I'm going to get this gentleman, and then I'll come back and get you.
I just want to be short and tell you that Mary Frances and I moved in last week on Tuesday. So we have been very welcomed here, and we're very glad to be here. We are all the way down in a cottage we're at the new cottage, all the way at the end of Bradford Court. And we just want to say we're very blessed to be here, and we're learning people's names and where they come from and all. But I do want to say, if you are without your Sarah and you're down on one of the walkways around the pond or the nature trail and you have problems, knock on our door, bang on our door. We're right down at the end of the street there.
Okay.
And so we'll be glad to help out wherever we can, but take your Sarah with you, of course.
Welcome, and thanks for that recommendation. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Join one of our committees.
I just wanted to say that I have reported several times to maintenance, and maybe someone here has some kind of connection. My apartment overlooks the part of the Traditions dining hall, and I've reported that there's a big hole in the middle. There are 3 things that have a top-like on them that looks like a vent or something. One of them has been on ever since I moved in on Halloween Day. And I'm just curious, maybe it's not important, even though one said, oh, that's important, but it's never been taken care of. You might want to have somebody look into that again and see why that top is sitting over to the side rather than on the big hole.
Okay, thank you. Had no awareness of that. Back there, Beverly?
Hi, I'm Beverly, and I've been here a long time. Thank you, Coach Hobbs. He taught my son tennis, the one that just spoke. This is something I think a lot of you don't know about, and I talked to Tom yesterday, and I have a foundation where I can make a donation to any charity. And at our age, a lot of us give to charities. Well, we have one here called the Homes Fund. And if we want to help maybe our yearly increase, not to be so high, I asked them one time, I said, if I give to the charity, can I choose what I want to use it for? And they said, oh, yes, you can. And my passion, of course, is music, as most of you know. So you will see my name with some of the music that I bring, okay? But I know somebody here just donated $100,000 to improve some of the things in dining, okay? So if you're thinking about giving to a charity, a thought is, talk to Laura Ursini. If it's something you would like to see here, that would end up costing all of us, maybe you could donate to the charity here and help out. Just a thought.
Okay, thank you, Beverly. All right, are there any other comments? Yes, over here. Richard.
I'm going to hit this fellow right
Oh,
here. and
okay,
then I'll
sorry.
come over to Richard.
My name's Bob Pafford. My wife and I have been here just about 2 years. I want to say how exciting it was this morning at 6 o'clock when everything was dark. I went over, hit the emergency power, and we had emergency power. A few minutes later, the air handling system heat was running. I am really impressed what facility is doing here and how they're helping all of us. And I'm very glad this is our home. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm with you. I agree. Oh, Richard.
I'm going to hold the microphone a little away because the previous speaker was wearing a mask. Anyway, I just want to reiterate to everybody to keep your Sarah pendant. I keep mine around my neck now. I learned for the first time this year that if I get down on the floor intentionally, I can no longer get up. Okay? I was totally helpless, just kneeling down to do something on the floor, even though I had a chair next to me to help me get up, and I couldn't. So you might be unpleasantly surprised someday when you can't get up and you wish you had your pendant on. I made myself a lanyard. I wear it around my neck all the time.
Thank you, Richard.
You're right, Richard. They are wonderful. I had to use it once myself. Before I announce the results of the election, I want to say that there are no losers in this election. I say that because the person who did not receive enough votes to rank in the top 5 is an alternate. And our experience has been in the last 3 years that our alternates serve on the council. Sadly, we have people like Bill DeShazo, who left us way too early, and others who leave for other reasons. So when I give you the winners of today's election, I want you to remember that the person who was not elected to the top 5 is still an alternate and will still probably serve on the council. So here we go. Today's nominees and today's election winners are Tom Edmonds, Charles C. Pafford, Janet Rickman, Linda Renke, and Rick Simon. Thank you. And with all that being said, I'm happy to say that this meeting is over, and I say again my thanks to you for all the support you have given the council over the last year and for the support you've given me as well. Thank you.